Hi, my name is Jasmine Anderson. I'm from the Bayaud Career Center here in Denver, Colorado. And today I want to teach you a bit about how to target your resume, why you should target your resume, and the best method to doing that. So what is a targeted resume? It is a resume that has pulled out words that the hiring managers are looking for from the job description and incorporates it into the body of the resume. Hiring managers these days, most of them don't take more than 30 seconds to review a resume. And so you really want to make sure that your resume pops and uses words and highlights experience that they are looking for and that they have stated in the job description. On top of that, a lot of times these days, it's not even humans looking at resumes, right? It's computers that are doing it and scanning these resumes, making sure they at least have the same word matches as the ones that they've identified as most important. So you'll really want to make sure that you include that. So how do you target your resume? Well, you want to make sure that you have one master resume that you always save in your computer or on your Google Drive. And then for each job that you apply for, you'll want to alter that master resume to target it to that specific job that you're applying for. At the end of any job search, you should have as many resumes as jobs that you've applied for, because ideally you're really taking that time out to tailor it perfectly and concisely to that job. So the first step towards targeting your resume is pulling up a job description, reading it in its entirety, and underlining or highlighting keywords or actions or qualifications that they're looking for. So now we're going to look at an example of a resume and of a job description that this fella, Will Work, is going to apply for. Great. So as you can see, I am looking at Will Work's resume. He's got all of the sections that he needs, his personal contact information, skills, professional experience, scrolling down, and he has his education section. It looks good. It's a great resume. Now, just by looking at it, we can tell that it's more general labor focused. He, under his skills, has got power tools, hand tools, demolition, and within his resume, he has got more labor-heavy jobs that he has listed. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what kind of job he's applying for. So Joe is interested working at the local grocery store, Trader Joe's, as a crew member. Let's take a peek and start highlighting some of the qualifications that they're looking for so that we know what we can fix Joe's resume up with. Okay, so I'm just going to start highlighting keywords. Friendly, answer questions. That's going to indicate that they're looking for someone with high attention to detail and customer service. Customers know they are welcome and cared for. Working with a team. Operate in the cash register, so having some cash handling experience would be pretty useful for Will. Okay, stocking. Make sure that if he has any stocking experience, he goes ahead and lists that in his resume. Creating signage. Now that might just be writing something on some cardboard, or it might also be getting on the computer and typing something up on Microsoft Word. Okay, and then what I see here is a fervor for food. And that might not be something that Will is able to put into his resume, but it could certainly be something that he pops into his cover letter, or if he gets an interview, he should definitely do a shout out to his fervor for food and any other type of funk that they're looking for in the job description. So let's see, let's go back up to Will's resume and just take a peek. So this is his master resume. We're going to make sure that Will has already saved his master resume somewhere else before we start to make changes to it. because what we're going to do is create Will's resume with a grocery clerk target focus. So if I were Will, what I'd want to start doing is taking out some of the skills that aren't directly related to the job and might just busy up his resume unnecessarily. So I'd remove power tools, hand tools. Money handling and food prep are relevant to the job description and are two things that they've actually mentioned on the resume. So we're going to take out demolition, hardwood flooring, floor removal, painting prep, and leave in great customer service. He might want to provide a key word that was listed in the job description. So let's scroll back down. Okay, so right here I see the word passion. This is just an example, but if you wanted to really target his customer service skill, he might want to put passionate customer service. Okay, I would leave organization in if I were Will. Oftentimes in grocery stores or at restaurants, you will have to pick up on cleaning tasks, so that is going to be potentially useful for him. We already indicated that he might need to create some signage on the computer, so we were going to leave in basic Microsoft Office, and we might want to leave in teamwork right there. Okay. Okay, so now that we've gone through some of the skills and made them more targeted to the grocery clerk position, let's go through some of Will's professional experience and organize it in a way that's going to jump out to the Trader Joe's hiring manager or add a few extra words. So let's start here with groundskeeper. One thing that pops up to me very quickly is that the second bullet point, work independently and with a team, might be one that he wants to include first because it's the most relevant to the job description. So I'm going to cut that, I'm going to paste it, and I could just leave everything else the same. Sometimes you don't have to go keyword crazy on your resume to target it. It could be as simple as rearranging a few bullet points so that the first thing that the reader reads is really relevant to the job. So in this customer service rep job position that Will had, let's read it. He operated the cash register, assisted customers, and provided recommendations. This seems like a very good thing to include first, as it is one of the more salient things that we read in the job description that Trader Joe's will be looking for. Same goes with the second bullet point here, resolving customer complaints, communicating effectively, meeting needs, and performing administrative duties. Now, it didn't say that you needed to be able to answer phones or fill out paperwork in that job description, but you might deduce that being in a grocery store, you could be next to the phone or you could be asked to work in the customer service table, in which case you might be a better fit for them if you already had that skill of being able to answer the phone and, let's say, tell a customer if you have some carrots in stock. So I think that this is a killer job description of his previous position as a customer service rep. Now we're here, we're looking at his subcontractor floor professional experience. And one thing that jumps out to me about this is there's not a whole lot that has to do with customer service in here. What he might do off the bat is organize it so that that first bullet point goes next because it's more labor intensive. So we've now just put installed floors for businesses, homes, and new construction projects on the bottom. And we've left on the top, communicate installation issues and coordinate maintenance for large repairs. What he could include is something like provide excellent customer service to businesses, homes, and new construction projects while communicating installation issues and coordinating maintenance for large repairs. You'll see that I just basically stole that second bullet point and combined it with the first. So we can delete that. And now that's a more targeted bullet point that starts off with the customer service orientation first and then leads into the more technical specs about what he did. Now, if he didn't want to just leave one bullet point, what he might do is scroll down to the job description again and say, okay, I haven't talked about stocking or doing inventory yet. Now, did Will do that in this job? Yeah, he did. As a subcontractor floor, you can bet that Will was responsible for finding inventory for clients and stocking that inventory at his warehouse. So he can add a bullet point that's something to the effect of responsible for locating client-specific inventory and stocking the warehouse. And there you go. What was once a more labor-focused floor position written in his resume is now more focused towards customer service and inventory. So Will would essentially want to do the same thing for this demolition technician. He might not need to include how he operated and maintained drills, hammers, and electrical saws, but he could more focus on how he brought a professional demolition service to many different customers. One thing you want to do when you're writing your resume is focus on achievements. And so numbers are a huge part of that. If you can effectively say how many customers you may have served within your duration with that company, you'd have a pretty standout resume. So for instance, let's say that as a demolition technician, Will worked with 100 plus customers in providing demolition services. He could putting that number there and that accomplishment is one way to really wow the hiring manager. So don't forget that. Now, this last one here really doesn't have a whole lot to do with what Will did. And if he wanted to, I could say that he could just delete that and his resume wouldn't be worse off for it. He already goes back a full 6 years in his resume. I think that he touches upon everything that Trader Joe's is looking for, and he really looks like he could actively fulfill that position that they're looking for. So let's recap. As you start applying for jobs, make sure that you target your resume for every job that you apply for. It's a great way to make sure that you stand out to hiring managers. Read over the job description, highlight keywords and qualifications, and insert them in your resume. You might take out old job titles. You might take out jobs altogether that don't match with the job that you're applying for. Or you could just reorganize your bullet points so that the most relevant job duty is sitting at the top. Also, make sure that you include some of the key words that are listed in the job description in your resume so that you pop out and you seem like someone that has everything that they're looking for. And lastly, don't forget to make your resume achievement focused. The more you can add numbers of the number of people served or the number of programs that you taught yourself while you were there, the better your resume will look. All right, good luck. You got it.